Bismillah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.
Asalamualykum, everyone. Peace. I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. Africans in the diaspora, African Americans in particular, they are so misunderstood. So many things about them, just people are lost. And you know why? Because people don't care to take time to get to know them. People don't take time to care to get to know them, the way they talk, things about their culture. There's so much disregard, and I say that because these are things that I see in real life, and these are things that I see in real life on the internet as well. You know, you can see through people's comments what they say, but I've also had, you know, interactions with people who would say bad things or whatever. And that is the problem with people, Africans everywhere, not wanting to care to know about each other and each other's culture. But the big disrespect I see is, you know, a lot for African Americans, you know. And people say all the time, particularly continental Africans, that they don't have culture, they're lost people, there are so many things, right? And I can understand if someone's saying that, okay, they're like, they don't have a lot of African culture, right? And I'm talking about, you know, things that are current according to continental Africans, okay? Especially things like the particularly foods that people are eating in Africa right now, or some of the customs that people are still practicing and doing right now, you know, especially, okay, I could go deep into that. I get that, but this the thing, when people are talking about African Americans, they're talking about as if they don't have nothing, okay? That's not true. When you learn the history, what took place in the United States and how they came to be to this very day. That's the thing, that people don't even respect the history that African Americans like went through, and how even continental Africans are able to reside in the United States. People don't think about all the African American women and African American men that have even married continental Africans. And I don't even want to go into the intermarriage part. You know why they married, for the most part. Just take it as like arranged marriage. Okay? Not saying people don't marry for love, but you get it. So how other people are even able to reside in the United States because of the history, the struggle that African Americans went through, and having to, you know, form their own identities. People don't talk about that. People don't talk about the African Americans that even wish to remain in the United States. Because guess what? It's a reality. Not everybody is going to Africa. That's reality. And it's reality, not even all continental Africans want even to go back to Africa. That's reality. Regarding Africans around the world, like the tendency, and I'm not saying old people behave this way, but it's a lot. The tendency of people to misunderstand them because they don't understand anything about them. They don't know anything about their history. And then that's when people continue to keep talking and talking, reinforcing negative stereotypes. Oh, the African Americans called me this. When you were a kid? Name calling or whatever. Because show me, from my experience, you see a lot of continental African students study in the States, right? How are they even able to come and study in the States based on laws that have been passed? Who have been a part of those laws and civil rights that have been passed? And then when I get to the US, some of them, even in some programs, especially some government programs, they are put with a host. You don't see enough of them talking about who is hosting them, because it sure is not all white people hosting them. You know, you just probably don't hear about people's experiences, but there are African Americans hosting these people, hosting Africans from the continent. Who is helping them get integrated into society? It's not all white people. But this is the problem with us people everywhere. African people, whether you African American, whether you Jamaican, whether you Bayesian, whether you Trini, whether you're from the continent, whether you Ghanaian, whether you Nigerian, whether you Kenyan, South African, the list goes on. The problem is that we don't know each other. We don't understand each other. And so when we don't understand each other, the fears grow and generate. And when the fears grow among each other, we are reinforcing the negative stereotypes about each other. And so this goes both ways, but in all honesty, people can see African Americans tend to be severely picked on and degraded compared to any other ethnic group of Africans around the world. And that is because of lack of education about them and their histories. And people just continue to listen to the Africans that have bad experiences with African Americans. And I'm not saying that people don't have bad experiences with African Americans. I'm saying that you sit there, a lot of people sit there and listen to the bad experiences, and then they just shut it out and say, oh, this is why I don't want to know them. Do you hear yourself? And then making generalizations and statements like, this is how they are. That's why I don't bite the bait. Because when people are complaining about, oh my gosh, someone's generalizing me, someone's saying something. Guess what? Because you allow it, you let it happen to other groups. You let it happen to other groups. So now, because you're upset because someone, let's say someone is generalizing you, this has been going on. Just like people generalize different tribes against each other. In Kenya, the Kikuyu or the Lower people. You know, you're talking about Mandinka people in Senegal, or Mandinka people in the Gambia. You get, like, come on. You're talking about Ashanti people or the God people. Please, come on, generalizing people, stereotypical statements among each other and ethnic groups. This been going on. So when you can tackle things at the larger perspective, then you can get things done. But I just particularly needed to speak on the ones that I see about, like, African Americans, because that's a problem. And guess what? It's a lot of African Americans that have been traveling to the continent for a very long time. They've been doing this. It's not because of the year of return. Yes, that's increased some people's travels, but this been happening before year of return. That African Americans been traveling to the continent. And guess what? They've been traveling without invitations or what you may have. They've been traveling despite videos not being made to entice them to want to come. Because the truth is, with the media, the commercials that have been made for people to come to Africa, they've been targeted like at the Europeans to come there. There are plenty of tourist videos saying come to the Gambia, come to Kenya, or come to wherever it may be. And you wouldn't even see one black person in those films, those commercials. So people can stay talking about African Americans, but mind you, how many continental Africans are in the US reaping benefits because of African Americans and what their ancestors went through? But no one is talking about that. All they talk about, mind you, instead of talking about solutions, instead of things being solution based, people are talking about Like what? How like just problems, just things that instead of working on, hey, how can we help? You know. But mind you, the story is not complete, because you're lost when you forget to talk about especially a lot of African American women who are marrying continental Africans and even having children with them. It's so easy to research people these days. We have Google. There are libraries that are now opening, you know, with social distancing standards. There are people, African Americans, living in the US enough for you to talk to. And I'm just gonna stop there. Peace.